one man, one passion, all legend. David Thunder Cummings, yes, a living legend. He's not Mel Gibson, but he's still a lethal weapon. Throw a leg kick, and yes, he's gonna check it. If you don't cover your face, the man is gonna wreck it. Coach ain't sweet like apple pie. If you get in the ring, you get your ass kicked in Muay Thai. It's all about the conundrum down under. You wonder about the lightning, but you better be concerned about the thunder, the thunder, the thunder, the thunder, the thunder. Coach Harrison, there'll never be no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I still have the legendary Coach David Thunder Cummings on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing Show, MMA Show Live. But I got to say Muay Thai now because he is the man at Muay Thai. He's done a lot. Okay, Coach, so I want to go ahead and start out the question by asking you, okay, what does a fighter who was a boxer, okay, let's say if a fighter is a boxer, okay, what do they need to do to become a Muay Thai expert?
Well, a couple things. First and foremost, I mean, you have to change your stance completely. The sideways boxing stance for Muay Thai simply does not work. Your leg's going to get chewed up. We have a couple nerves in our leg. We have the IT band and the sciatic nerve. It has to turn to the outside. So you have to shift your hips and your belly button more forward. Puerto Rico.
I'm dancing.
It's all the time here. So you have to shift your hip more to the outside, and I'm talking about the outside of your opponent's shoulder. So where in boxing we can tuck our chin and turn completely sideways, in Muay Thai you have to square up. And your front foot has to be turned a little bit left into the outside if you're orthodox and right into the outside if you're southpaw. The other thing you have to do is in boxing we do a lot of head movement. And Muay Thai head movement is very dangerous. One, when you shift your head over, your leg fills up with blood. When your leg's filled up with blood and you get kicked, it goes dead. And it doesn't function anymore. So we're constantly, you see how Muay Thai fighters are on the balls of their feet? Well, that's taking the blood out of the leg, so if it gets kicked, it's not going to be as painful. The other thing is we have to keep our head upright because one, the elbows, and two, the knees. So as a boxer, we move our head and bob and weave where they can easily grab the head and clinch you up and knee you in the head or elbow you in the head or even worse, kick you in the head. So you have to shift those dynamics. Also in boxing, we wear a belt protector, a groin protector that comes up and covers the kidneys, the liver, and the spleen. Well, in Muay Thai, we don't wear that kind of cup. You wear a tiny little cup. So you have to protect those areas with your legs versus trying to use your elbows. If you bring your elbows down to block, you're going to get head kicked. So we block at least half of the strikes from the waist down or almost from the belly button down with the legs. So there's several conversions you need to make. I fought a very famous boxer named Vince Phillips. Have you heard of Vince Phillips?
Yes.
Well, Vince, very tough guy, great boxer. All I did was kick him in the legs. Kick him in the legs, kick him in the legs. He reached down to block the leg kick, got his arm broken. You can't block a leg with an arm. The bone isn't big enough. Now, if anybody thinks for a second I'm going to stand there and box with Vince Phillips, they're crazy. I wasn't going to box with that man. That would have been a losing fight. He was a better boxer. Stayed outside, kicked his legs. The result ended up in a broken arm. I believe he had 3 K1 style fights, and I think he lost all 3 of them pretty much the same way because he couldn't deal with the low kicks. Trevor Berbick, same thing happened, not with me, but tried to convert, couldn't block the low kicks. He ends up rolling around in the ring saying, I don't know how to block the legs. So, you know, if you're a boxer, you're going to convert, you have to go get into a Muay Thai gym. The same, a Muay Thai fighter can't go and box unless he's working with boxing coaches. You need people that are skilled in that craft.
Wow. Coach, I'm just, this is more of an education, man, than an interview. I mean, it is because, you know, I was totally, you know, unaware of that because, you know, you kind of look at Muay Thai and you say, oh, okay, yeah, when they throw punches, oh, that's like boxing, okay? Or when they throw kicks, it's like kickboxing, but they're three totally different sports, man.
Completely.
God, man, okay.
Elbows adds in a whole different element. You know, I see people, this happens a lot. People come from K1 rules, or they come from the Dutch style of kickboxing. And then you add in elbows, and they get cut to shreds. It's because for a Muay Thai fighter, you learn an elbow day one, just like you learn a jab. You learn a knee, just like you learn a jab. We have 8 different striking elements. So if you only practice 6 of them, you're not really a Muay Thai fighter. You're really a kickboxer that maybe tries to throw some elbows. So we start people from the very first day on how to throw elbows, how to block elbows, how to throw knees, how to defend knees, how to stand. If you just go and you work people out, they don't have the muscle memory of the fundamentals to block those dangerous techniques.
Wow. Okay, Coach, guys, y'all getting the education from this man today. You guys are getting a true education because a lot of boxing fans really are ignorant, not like bad ignorant, like they just really just don't understand the differences. Because even I can even see some similarities in the octagon and in Muay Thai. But now let me ask you this: what do you see are the noticeable differences between MMA and Muay Thai?
Well, I mean, obviously the ground game is a big difference, but really more is the stance. In a Muay Thai stance, you're much taller in your stance because we don't really need to worry about the takedown. We're more worried about setting up elbows and knees. When I teach MMA, we lower our butt about another 5 inches, almost in a squat. Well, when you're lower like that, you have a better connection to the floor. So it's easier to drop your hips to sprawl. It's easier to get the underhooks. It's also much harder for them to take you down because your body's not as straight up as down as you are in the Muay Thai stance. Now, Muay Thai fighters can convert well to MMA, but again, they have to learn the ground game because that's half of it. If you can't fight on the ground, you better stay with stand-up. Angela, for example, has very good ground with her wrestling and so forth. But I'm a big believer is you need to pick your poison. You can't be good at 10 different things. Do you want to be the best in the world at Muay Thai, or do you want to be the best in the world at MMA? You've got to kind of figure out what it is and really be 100% on point with that. Now you become the best, then you can look at where else can I be the best. So I try to keep people focused when it comes to that type of training.
And Coach, Angela got a submission too, man. Angela got a submission. I saw it, man. She got a submission. I mean, what were your thoughts, man, when she got that submission?
Well, one, I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, Angela's wrestling is very good, and she took the jiu-jitsu just like a fish takes to water. Look, if Angela would have came to me at 20 years old, we would already be knocking on the UFC's door. Angela's 31 years old, or maybe 32. 31.
Yeah, she just had a birthday. She's 32.
32. Okay, yeah, she's 32. I want her to have as long a career as possible. And so, I know she could probably do really well in the UFC, but it may be 4 or 5 fights, and then that's it with the UFC. I would rather see her have another 15, maybe even 20 fights and have a real full career. And I think with Muay Thai, she can do that. Now, if the right fight comes for MMA, will we take it? Sure. I'll do whatever Angela wants to do to move her career to the next level. I'll fully support her. But it'll be a much different training camp, obviously, with that. Now, with that being said, talking about kind of picking what you need to do, I make all of my fighters wrestle. When I say wrestle, starting from their knees, because it builds the upper body strength for the clinch. And so when you can maneuver people without using your legs, well, then when you can use your legs as well, it becomes easy to maneuver people.
Wow. Coach, this is an education, guys, and you guys need to really start bookmarking these things that Coach is saying, okay? Coach, I want to go ahead and start asking you about your personal career. You started your career, okay, and I hope I'm saying it right. You got your first title shot at 16.
Correct. It was my first pro fight, and it was in the summer between 10th and 11th grade. Yeah.
So, I mean, how are you feeling? Because you were still in school, and you were probably, like all your friends were like, okay, man, we got to go study, but you were like, I got to get ready for, I had to get ready for this title fight.
Well, here's the thing is, I started this so young. I was 4 years old. I was 100% sure by 8 years old I was going to be a world champion. It was just a matter of when. I was also sure I was going to make a bunch of movies, which never happened. That's a whole other story. I actually was offered a part in the first Karate Kid, and turned it down because I thought it was stupid when I read it. Now I look back and kick myself in the butt for that.
Wait a minute. Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid?
Yeah, I was offered a part as one of the Cobra Kai.
Oh, man, Coach, oh.
If you read the script at the time when I was 14 or 15, I was like, this kid in 2 weeks learns how to beat all the black belts in the area. I was like, this is stupid. So, dumb me. I'm going to be famous. I'm not going to do this dumb movie. And that was one of the bigger things I regret in my life, that I didn't take that role. But live and learn. I didn't end up being a movie star and went a different direction. I got my face beat up instead. When they offered me this fight, it was against a 28-year-old man. He was number 4 in the world with the IBF at the time, boxing. So I knew he could box. And I know I did really well for myself, but I also learned that I wasn't the best in the world at kickboxing and needed to get better. I lost my first fight. And then I won, I think, 22 fights after that because I didn't like losing. I didn't like how that felt.
Wow. Well, and Coach, you've had a really good career, man. Like, can you tell people, it's Coach, when I was reading your biography, man, last week, I lost count, man. Like, how many titles have you had?
13 world titles. And then I've won some North American titles and some other titles I don't count. Like I won a karate title that I don't even count that as a world title. To me, if you win a karate tournament in San Antonio and you beat other guys from the U.S., it's not a world title, regardless of what they call it. So I don't even have that. It's somewhere in a closet. Really, to me, more than all those belts was the experiences, because at the end of the day, those belts mean a lot at the time. But as you get older, they end up being trophies on the wall. Some of my best experience are actually fights I didn't win. Fighting guys like Boonker and Saxon and Sakasam. I learned more from those fights than I learned beating guys named Bill Smith or George Michael or whatever their name was. Or going to Japan without a corner man and winning a world title at Tokyo Dome. Now that's something that really means something to me. Fighting in front of 70,000 people. That's something that I'll take with me forever. Fighting Dita Diafat in Paris on a card headlining 8 legends. To me, those are the experiences that mean even more than the guys that I beat. Yeah, I can remember everybody that beat me. There's a lot of guys that I beat I can't even remember who they were. But I think those losses define you, and they also make you a better who you are if you get through those losses and you come back stronger.
Well, you're still strong, Coach, because you're in the gym, man. And look, man, I done looked at every video that I can see of you training, and you in there, man. You making those young people work, man. Like and Angela was saying, yeah, he can still get in there and spar. And when I saw, the video, I'm like, oh yeah, he can, he can, because you right there, man. You look like you're in great shape. I mean, you take pretty good care of yourself, and 22 years of fighting, man. You look like you're in great shape.
Thank you. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm up every morning at 5 o'clock, and by 6 o'clock, I've already got the mitts on. And then I actually still make time for myself. There's not one day goes by. We have a guy here that's a black belt under Carson Gracie in jiu-jitsu. He's a 200-pound guy. I'm 140, and I roll with him an hour a day. And then I get my sparring with the fighters. So I try to get in between 12 and 20 rounds of sparring every day. So I do at least 2 solid hours on myself, because look, I'm a big believer is once you stop moving your body, it starts shutting down. And with all those fights, I have a tremendous amount of pain. And I'm not going to end up like my peers on drugs and taking pain pills and stuff like that. So the only thing I know to do is to stay active and keep working. I also believe with the damage to my brain, with all these fights, if I don't stay sharp and stay articulate, your body starts going the other way quick. And I'm not going to let that happen. I believe that you have a choice on what happens to your body and to your brain. And now I just keep it working, man. Just keep my body functioning. I don't have to cut weight anymore, thank God. I also eat to make weight. So I just I eat when I want to eat. I train when I want to train. I just try to eat halfway good and don't put alcohol in my body. And no drugs, and that's it, man.
Okay. Coach, that's good information, Coach. All right. This is one of the last questions I'm going to ask you, man. And this is kind of for my audience that are boxing, that are actually going to, start looking at like a lot of Muay Thai now. What do you think the problems are? Because we know, I guess I kind of know it's a rhetorical question for me, but I want to get it from a legend like you. What do you think the problems are in boxing? Because, and I'm gonna tell you why I asked this question, okay?